Welcome to the Real Estate Finder podcast. I'm Matthew Maschler, real estate broker with Signature Real Estate Finder here in the great state of Florida. And today I want to talk to you about bullies. Yes, everybody hates a bully. And in real estate, like any other place in life, there are definitely bullies. Sometimes your customer is a bully. Sometimes the other customer is a bully. Sometimes the other agent is a bully. And I want to make sure that all of my agents, anyone who joins Team Awesome, knows that they have me in their corner. And that's why I actually encourage all my agents to CC me on any on their deals. If they submit an offer or they're negotiating an offer, put in the CC box, Matt at realestatefinder.com, not because I want more work. I don't want more work, but because I don't like bullies. And maybe I'm conceited, but I have a pretty good reputation. And I think that if the other agent saw or knew who I was, they would know that they can't take advantage of maybe an inexperienced agent or an agent that is alone. I want my agents to know that they're not alone, that they have the team behind them, that they have all of Signature Real Estate Companies, one of the largest companies in Florida, behind them, and they have me behind them. And I know that won't stop a bully, but when we get to the point where the other agent is bullying them, I can step in. And people say they don't want to CC me because they don't want to bother me. Well, I wouldn't do this if I didn't want to be bothered, right? That's why I'm here. That's why I hire agents. That's why I have my podcast. That's why I have my newsletter, because I'm here for you and I love what I do. So the other night, it was Sunday, and one of my agents reached out to me, and the other agent was being unreasonable and making demands. And I said to them, tell them it is Sunday, and then you're not working, and you'll talk to them tomorrow, right? They don't have to blow up your phone on a Sunday. It's nothing is going to get accomplished. No new agreements are going to be made. No offices are open. No mortgage companies are open. One of the underlying issues was there were questions about the mortgage. The buyer, it was our listing, and the buyer was putting zero money down, and they were supposed to get confirmation from their mortgage. They didn't provide any kind of pre-approval, so they wanted an answer to their offer. Right? They wanted to know if their offer was accepted. And the seller was still considering it and didn't have all the information they needed. Oh, but Matt, they're putting pressure on me. Ghost them. I don't care. You can ghost someone at 7 o'clock on a Sunday. Hey guys, I'm checking. Just text them back or call them back or email them back. Hey guys, I'm checking out. It's Sunday night. I'm checking out. I'll touch base with you tomorrow. They're putting pressure on you. You put pressure back on them. They put demands on you. You put demands on them. Right? They're putting demands on you. You put the, I need the mortgage pre-approval. This agent was so ridiculous and sloppy. They put the buyer's name where the seller goes, the seller's name where the buyer goes, and then they crossed out the word buyer, wrote in the word seller. They crossed out the word seller, they wrote in the word buyer. And I'm trying to read this contract. My agent says to me, Matt, the contract's a mess and they won't rewrite it. And I'm like, oh, let me see it. And my eyes were cross-eyed. And sometimes you see contracts with crossouts and initials. Sometimes you can understand it, but I'm looking at this contract. I was at the first line, the buyer's name and the seller's name, and my eyes were cross-eyed. The price I couldn't figure out because it was crossed out and new price was written in. I couldn't tell if it was $30,000 or $630,000. There were initials everywhere. There were scratches and chicken marks everywhere, and the buyer's agent didn't want to rewrite it because they weren't sure if the seller would accept it. Oh, all right. Tell the buyer's agent, and they're putting demands on you, right, to get them an answer. I can't read this contract. I don't understand it. Please write a new contract. And every time they say why they won't do it, and if you're, and this is a relatively new agent of mine that was going through this, just turn the tone back on them. Just turn the tone back on them. I'm sorry, I cannot read this contract. It is illegible. Please provide a new contract that I could read. Now, certainly, you can send it to... One of the things I try to stress is it's not the agent's job or the agent's decision to accept or reject a contract. That really is up to the seller. And the listing agent does have the obligation to submit all offers. I'd argue an illegible offer may not be a real offer, but in the interest of safety. But you submit it. You the way you submit it to a seller, you kind of control the situation, right? Hey, good news! We just received this offer. It's great. Please sign. Or we just received this offer. It's a complete mess. I don't recommend you signing it. I think we should reject the offer and demand that they write up a new clean offer with the pre-approval tomorrow. And you say that to your seller. Your seller agrees to it. Now you have full authority to go back and make demands and be the bully back to the other agent and say, hi, I'm sorry. The seller rejected your offer. Please come back with a clean offer and a pre-approval. Thanks so much. Have a great night. And then put your phone down. Don't respond. Don't engage them, because they could have diarrhea of the mouth and they could keep texting you. They could text you for the next 2.5 hours, and you can play texting games with them for the next 2.5 hours. It's not going to change anything. They'll either write a new offer or they won't. And what I want you to do when you feel that strength, when you get that strength from me, and if you have some energy, put that energy into marketing the listing. Because the best thing to do when there's another agent, another buyer, when there's a buyer's agent that's being a dick or being a bully, the best thing to do is find your own buyer. You'll make a lot more money. Or find any other buyer, right? Even if they're not yours, because then you don't have to deal with this bully. So then you go on Facebook, make a post about this great house, schedule an open house, right? It's Sunday night, schedule an open house for Tuesday, put it on Facebook, open house. Tell the other agent, tell the bully if you want, if they're still sending you things, tell the bully, hey, why don't you stop by the open house Tuesday from 11 to 3 and we can talk about the mortgage terms. That'll burn them. So just know you have me, my agents on Team Awesome. Just know you have me, you have my podcast, my newsletters, all the resources at my disposal. Bring me in. Do not stand a bully. Don't work Sunday nights if you don't want to. I advocate my agents having a work-life balance, and there's no reason to be talking about mortgages and seller's disclosures at 7 o'clock on a weeknight or mortgage pre-approvals on a Sunday. It could all wait till Monday. It'll all be there when you get back. So certainly if there's offers to be negotiated, if there's an inspection to be negotiated, the deadline's on Monday, certainly you can negotiate an inspection. What I'm saying is it's your choice. If the other agent is being nice and respectful and you're trying to get work done, go for it. Get the work done. But if the other agent's being a hard-nosed and stubborn and causing you grief, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to accept that. All right? Say no to bullies. Get me involved. I don't mind being bothered on a Sunday or late at night. You can bring me into the text conversation. You can send me copies of the text. I'll help you craft a response. But that's it's an important thing that I want my agents to know. Not to be trapped, not to feel alone, and not to engage with bullies. Thank you for so much for joining us on the Real Estate Finder podcast. I'm Matthew Maschler. Let me be your bully. Let me be your bulldog. I like the fight. You know me. I like wrestling. I like watching it. And the one place where I can win a fight is in a real estate negotiation, right? When that other agent, when their broker, and I only fight in real estate when I'm right or the other person's wrong. And quite often the other person is wrong, right? We deal with this a lot now with uneducated, inexperienced people with buyer broker agreements and commission agreements. Half the time, these listing agents, they don't know if it's the listing broker or the seller themselves that's compensating the buyer's agent. And they're using the wrong forms. And they're insisting that their broker told them to use the wrong forms. I'll give you another example. The arbitration clause. Agents who are members of the National Association of Realtors are required to arbitrate disputes between themselves and other agents. I would prefer to litigate in court. I want to hire a lawyer, I want to come in blazing, and I want to win my cases. But I am required by the National Association of Realtors and the Realtors Code of Ethics to arbitrate disputes between other agents. So when there is a compensation agreement with the listing agent, that listing agent is compensating my buyer's agent. That needs to have an arbitration provision. There are companies out there that are not agreeing to arbitrate. Well, they're in default. They're in default of the Code of Realtors, and I'll report them to the National Association of Realtors or the Florida Association of Realtors or the local board that they are violating the Code of Ethics because they're refusing to arbitrate. However, if the seller is paying my buyer's agent directly, there is no obligation to arbitrate, and in that situation, I want to litigate any complaints, so I won't sign an arbitration agreement in that situation. So that's what I teach my agents. And if my agents are out there in the field and they're getting resistance from the other broker's agent who does it a different way, bring me in and let me spank that other broker and teach them the way to do it. I'm happy to get into a fight. That's where I win. That's my wrestling ring. Educating and beating up other agents because I am smarter than them, I am better than them, and they know it. Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate Finder podcast. I am Matthew Maschler.
It looks bright and the storms pass by. The sky's dark blue and it's almost that time. Light shows, cameras flash when I pass. Living in the moment, forget about the past. They save the best for last.